All right, y'all. Welcome back to VARCheck. Your host Taps, and we have two special guests. But first of all, we're gonna I'm just gonna let them introduce themselves. One of them is back from a ACL injury. Is back to having the first team. He was doing a little under 21 action, You know, he's match fit right now, and Jacob and me, we sat down, we discussed, and we think it's good. It's best. Let's give him some first team action. What's your name?
All right, so I'm Noah. Obviously, you know the deal. It's been a tough few months getting back up to match speed, but I think I'm ready for it. I didn't want to come back too early and push the fold, but I think we're ready to strive towards the end of the season.
We're gonna rate his performance after it. We're gonna see his rating. Hopefully, he gets a few assists, a few goals here and there. Keep it going. And then we got Drew back.
What's up?
Yeah. He's a soldier. He is injured, but he can play with that injury. So, he's back with the tan, back from Florida. So yeah, we're gonna talk footy. International break. Mbappe is now captain of France. He owns PSG now, so it's most likely he had to be the captain of France. What else? Kane broke the record.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a qualifier, borderline friendly, shot with the double yellow in like the span of a minute.
Yeah,
I see that was a Ten Hag masterclass though. He's telling all the United players yo, pull out, don't play, come back. It's a Fergie special.
No, and the Rashford situation, so Rashford is he plays for United, whatever, but I love that guy. I love Rashford. He's one of the good blokes. Like Saka, I like him. I want to see him win. I want to see him win. So he pulled out. People are saying blah blah blah. Southgate throwing shots. Bro, you did not give him a real good shot. And I think in the last few games, obviously, in the was it Euros or World Cup? Which was the last one we played?
It was a World Cup.
A World Cup. Rashford should have played more. You could say whatever you wanted to say, but Southgate has not really favored him much. So him pulling out, they were gonna win it. England, they win every single group game. It doesn't matter who they're against.
Yeah.
It's when you get to the tournaments, but they'll be doing better now. But yeah, what do you guys think about the whole Rashford and Southgate situation?
Honestly, I'm glad. I don't want Rashford going away playing random friendlies and qualifiers and risk getting hurt.
Yeah.
I just want to say, everyone knew Southgate had his favorites, but he came out with a quote earlier this week talking about Balogun. He's like, yo, we can't call him up because he's playing in Liga and he doesn't have that prem experience. And we can't give caps to guys that have only played 2 or 3 times for country. How are they going to get more caps if you don't play them?
Yeah. No, you can't get caps if you don't get called up.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate given.
So the thing about it is you have Phillips, you have Maguire, you have players that are not playing in the team. And even if they were playing, I don't think they would have been Tomori's been killing it 24/7. You can say about the Serie A, whatever, he's in Champions League. He's doing crazy.
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham, when he was banging, it was apart from Harry Kane, they didn't have any second striker. So Wilson has not been playing well. He's got called up. Another one. It seemed to as you said, he has his favorites. So I think Balogun's going to play for the USA. Hopefully he plays for Nigeria because, they're not doing the best right now. But
they've got, him and Osimhen up top.
No, well, you say that, but Osimhen is the only one who actually performs when it comes to Nigeria time. If you watch any of the games, it is what it is. But Balogun, he's in Arsenal. He's staying. He's not going anywhere. So happy about that. I've said it. I talked to Mikel. And I talked to a man like Edu, and we came to agreement. Balogun is staying. Don't worry about the Gunners friends. Don't worry, I got inside information.
I have a question for you.
All right.
If you could only have one, Eddie or Balogun?
That's a tough one because, they're hail-in guys, But Balogun from, the get-go was always a more, I would say, skillful player. Eddie is just a striker. He's a fox in the box. He'll get the goals and everything else. He's not really. Balogun has the shine. Balogun has the pace, and he's a little bulkier than Eddie. You know what I'm saying? I would like to keep them both, but we need another striker, as you know.
Yeah.
So I would say Balogun and Eddie, but they just gave him the number 14 number, man. Come on, man. You just can't give the number 14 number away. Then it's the next season you're gone. It means something. So hopefully we'll see their work. the most amazing scenarios is that we keep both. We get another striker in, because we'll hopefully be competing deeper in the competitions, like deeper in, not like getting out of like the third, fourth round, and maybe they'll all get good game time in games that mean. So we'll see how that goes. But we're just gonna move on to the topics at hand. So I saw a little conversation about the best winger, because people like Saka's on form. We get the Saka's on form.
Yeah.
No denying.
Yeah. And Cava, the guy from Napoli, Cava, he's been killing it as well. So now they're just debating who's the best right winger in the world. So we're going to talk about who the best wingers in the world. We're going to just debate on who we think and who our favorite wingers are who make an impact. So we're just going to go around the table. Drew, you start. Like, who to you, name 3 wingers right now off the bat you're going to say?
Well, you actually got one of them from Napoli. It was the Georgian cat.
Cava.
KK,
yeah. I call him KK.
I tried all day to pronounce his name properly. But yeah, no, he's one that I've been watching. And I mean, in a very weird Serie A season where we've watched Juve go through all sorts of trouble, and it's left the playing field very open for everyone else to really open up and, make moves. So, I mean, he is definitely one. Saka is another, no doubt about it. Sadio Mane with Bayern, he hasn't been as on a tear as he was in his Liverpool days, but he's also had his fair share of trouble. Serge Gnabry, always been a huge Serge Gnabry fan since he's burst on the scene.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I had said in the other Varchek episode I was on, Dortmund in their challenge for Bayern Munich this season. But Saka would also be the other hot winger.
So I always love Gnabry because, not just an Arsenal product and everything else, but I always like his directness and everything else. Bayern Munich, we'll see with the Tuchel coming in. Hopefully he gets more starting time, because to be honest, it's time to bin Muller. He's still productive, but I mean, it's like the Bundesliga.
I don't know. Muller's just one of those guys, man. He just seems to produce.
I know, but it's time. It's time.
It is,
get the young
he's
blood
just
in.
one of those guys.
You have Tell, you have Gnabry, you have Sané, even Sané, because I think Sané's going to go for a move. I think Sané's going to go for a move. I think so. It
would make sense for him. I just haven't seen his name thrown in any windows yet. So,
I think he just needs to go back to Schalke and live out the glory days.
Schalke?
Yeah,
bro,
that's where he started.
Let me tell you something. If he needs a home in North London, I know there's a team that wears red that wiped all the other London teams out. I think we will be interested in services. Yeah. No, your head. Who are your top? Name your top. It's
forwards. Pretty obvious. The top winger in the world right now is Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, Napoli.
Yeah.
Saka is definitely up there on form. I don't include guys like Rashford or Salah like that because they're more inverted forwards than true wingers.
Yeah.
I don't know. One guy that I've always liked is Ousmane Dembele at Barca. He just can't stay healthy. No, but just like the way he plays, I just love watching him. Obviously, he doesn't really count.
Obviously, so
he's good. He's good with his feet. He's good with both feet.
Oh yeah. Vinny Jr.
Yeah, but Vinny's a baller. You can't deny that. Rodrigo's really taken steps the past couple of years.
Yeah. He's happy to be at Real Madrid. I get that, but man, he should be at a team like starting every game. Like sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't, but every time he's missed a Champions League when it comes to Real Madrid, But I would just like to see him like go to another team so he can play every game in and game out. That's how Vinny developed so drastically.
Yeah.
Like Vinny went from last season, Benzema was like, don't pass him the ball. He's playing against us. And to next season, like he's kissing Vinny's forehead, like thank you for another assist. So I just want to see him go to another team and really, really shine. My guy is obviously the Napoli winger cover. Saka, Starboy, we all know it. I consider him a winger because I don't really think he's never going to play up front. Rafael Leo from AC Milan. I'm sorry, man.
That's another name I had down too.
So every single time he's on a pitch, I don't care who it's on, he always looks like the best player on the pitch. Yeah. That's what I've seen. Last few games, productivity kind of needs to go up. I would say that, but yeah. And I'm gonna put Mahrez in there because I'm sorry. I think Mahrez is one of my favorite players ever. He's just so smooth. He's just so smooth. But once again, the Pep rotation.
See, the thing is, Mahrez is City's best winger. He will feed Haaland the ball the best out of everyone that they have. But because Pep has 87 wingers to pick from, He changes
Yeah.
them every 3 minutes. No one gets fluidity. No one gets that chemistry.
Foden, Grealish. none
Yeah,
of them.
like
Oh no, Grealish is now kind of like getting it, and I think the only reason why he's starting over because he has been more productive, but there's still the price tag, so he has to. Pep's like, yo, he's good form. We're gonna rub this out.
Yeah.
We're gonna rub this out until hopefully it never ends out. But to be honest, Mahrez on any other team would be starting.
yeah,
Any other team would be starting game in, game out. Like there's no team in Europe
Yeah.
that I can say Mahrez won't be one of the first name on the team sheet. Can't say the same for João Cancelo, but that's a whole nother debate. Yeah. One winger I want to put out here that I really, really like, and I just think his talents are being wasted, is Wilfred Gnonto from Leeds.
bro, Nonto is so nice, and
Bro.
it
He's been
sucks
class.
because I hate cheering on Leeds players.
I know.
hate it. But
I know.
he's so good.
No, he's fast, direct, and every single time I see him play, he always looks like as I said about Rafael Leo, he always just looks like the best player. But the problem is that he's out here with Leeds playing military tactics, and then now they switched up the managers, and it's the whole Premier League is a whole shambles right
Yeah.
now. It's a whole shambles. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but it's just a whole shambles. So now next we're gonna go talk about who do we think are going to finish in the top in the Champions League positions in all the leagues. So right now, like I would say for the first time in a long time, all the leagues are pretty wide open, except for Liga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
City act not for the title, but for top.
Oh,
four,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
top four, yeah. Napoli, they're
like 19
Yeah.
points clear, something like that.
no, they've taken no prisoners.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but we're gonna start with Liga. You know, PSG.
I mean, yeah, it's PSG 1.
PSG is pretty much running away with it. It's that battle for 5th and 6th and like the Champions League spots that'll really get interesting.
Yeah.
Because top 6 get Europa League, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry,
yeah.
the bottom 2 of them.
Yeah.
So that's where it really gets interesting because Rennes and Lille are like tight for those spots. So they're really fighting, and Jonathan David's been on a tear,
Yeah.
as we know. So it really makes it an interesting race in Liga for sure.
Oh yeah, and what I've been seeing about Liga, because at one point in time they were like, "Oh, Lens, we're gonna take PSG like Lens to the next upcoming," and then like you see where they are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we're gonna the next 5. I would say the next 5 games are gonna be like, obviously every game is crucial, every week is crucial, but the next 5 games are gonna be crucial to see how it is. Once again, I think PSG, they extend the gap. You know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. It's light work. It's
But yeah,
20
right
for
now
them.
I think they're like 6 points up on Marseille for second.
And
Yeah.
Marseille start and stop. They'll win 3 games in a row, and then next thing you know,
Yeah,
And I was looking at the standings today too, and that's what I was thinking is Marseille will probably hold on to second, but
no,
like
bro.
that weird consistency / inconsistency of form definitely leaves some questions to be asked. But I don't think, like, looking at the point difference, like I can't see them really choking out of a top 4 spot at this point in time.
oh yeah,
Monaco is like the only team that's really at risk of that, and possibly Lens if they somehow have a drop in form. Because like I was saying,
yeah.
Lille's been really good lately,
No, but
so they're gonna look for that late surge.
But Monaco, I think Volland is coming back soon, so that's going to be a big plus. But I've seen some highlights from them, and it's like they play well against the bigger teams. They do, but when it comes to smaller teams, it's like, yo, it's 3-4, it's a FIFA score. I've seen some of them, and I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to let it play out. The Bundesliga. I want Union Berlin just to do some crazy thing.
they're down in third right now.
They're like, what?
They're only a couple points
Points
off
off,
to
yeah.
what I saw. So, like, it's not unheard of, but it's like I said in that first episode, man, Dortmund is going to challenge. And before, Bayern is running away with the lead. And here we are now. Dortmund's ahead by 1 point.
But now the thing about it is Dortmund are kind of like, they at a point when Lewandowski, Roos were there, they were like, they kind of broke out of the shell of the, they're going to challenge, and they kind of fall off, and they kind of were like, on all aspects for European, they were challenging. They always had the good system, bringing in the players and everything, but it's just one of those ones you're like, this is going to be one game. This is going to be that 1-2 games where they're just going to like lose it. Like,
Yeah.
the game against, like, the Champions League against Chelsea, I'm like, yo, that was just a terrible game. I think they could have attacked it better, and they could have gone through the next round. But I think now the focus is going to be solely on the league. We'll see how it goes, but they're just one of those teams where it's just like, I don't want it to happen, but I feel they're going to drop points here and there. So I think hopefully Union Berlin, they keep pushing for I think the third spot there is the qualifying one in the Bundesliga. So hopefully they stay there. We're going to move on to, what are these talk about Syria. What other leagues are there?
There is
La Liga.
La Liga, it's,
Barca's running away with it.
Yeah. It's Valencia that I'm really, really shocked about. Valencia and Sevilla.
Oh yeah.
They're battling because I don't
was
really
looking
watch
at the top 6 and Villarreal's there, and I'm like, okay, Villarreal. I'm like, wait, Valencia, Sevilla. Oh,
Yeah.
what are they doing down there? Sevilla freaking beat us in the Europa League, like in Pens a few years back.
No,
And now they're struggling to stay in the.
but they're still in
How?
the Europa League.
Yeah.
So like, guys,
How?
like, do you want to have the Europa League title like you guys have won for the 7th time in like the
Bro,
last
they're
10
gonna-
years?
They're gonna be playing Champions. They're gonna be playing Champions League, but from the La Liga second division.
It's a shambles. Like some of the players will be like, yeah, they'll be on $500 a week. Like, yeah, I got a Champions League match. Like, whoa, okay, okay, my guy. Yeah. So that's also Betis they've been going good, but earlier like they lost what was his name? Fekir. They lost him. I think he's out for the season. That I thought that was gonna hurt them, but they've been consistently just keep on going, win after win and everything else. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be. I think Sociedad always find a way.
Well, Sociedad are in 4th, I think.
Yeah,
right now.
Sociedad and
Yeah.
Betis. Like I was writing in my notes today, it'll be a dogfight for them for the rest of the season. Those two will be fighting it out for that last Champions League spot.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, whoever falls out of 4th to 5th, and then Villarreal will probably comfortably take 6th. From what I was looking like, the points just, I can't see anyone overtaking a top 6 right now.
Yeah.
So it's honestly just a dogfight to see who can take that last Champions League spot. Because let's be honest, the big 3, Barca, Real, Atletico,
Yeah.
they've got that on
They're set.
locks.
Yo,
Atletico might even choke it.
No,
but,
at a point, I thought Atletico were going to like choke it because they were on a terrible run of form, and then I don't know when Simone said, "Oh, I'm not going to continue anymore." They were like, "Oh shit!" Now the new manager's coming in, so like I gotta impress. Depay's been doing okay.
No, Memphis and Griezmann have been
Yeah.
balling out
Yeah,
together.
ever since Griezmann got that pink hair, like pink power, he's been going crazy.
ever since I saw his goal on Chris Hughes' Instagram, I swear it was good luck. Atletico Ottawa visiting him brought some good luck or something.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
since then, that's where their like resurgence came along.
Yeah,
So
don't worry, Atletico. It's good. We brought some good luck. You know, you guys just keep on pushing. You know, and then you know when Simone leaves, you know, we'll go attacking football, and Felix is gonna go back. He ain't no way he's staying in Chelsea.
I think he stays at Chelsea.
No, I
honestly.
don't. Do you know
they
why?
talk about United wanting him too, and I'm like, no,
Nah,
you guys can keep
I
him.
wanted that back when he was at Benfica, but not
Yeah,
anymore.
no,
No. Oh,
that was a
man.
pipe dream back then.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm just like, nah, I don't want him anymore.
No, but if you see some of the games, he's Chelsea's best player. He is. He's.
Well, that's not hard to do this year.
I mean, yeah.
Top 10.
No, but Enzo's done well. Enzo's
Has
done
he?
well. No, he's done okay. He's done okay.
He's
Not
been
worth
like
the
a
price
quiet
tag.
stat guy.
Oh no,
quiet
no-
stats guy.
Okay, guys. No one in this whole I would say footballing atmosphere right now is worth their price tag.
No, but like considering what
No.
he did at Benfica and like last season and the first half of this season,
We have a fidget
Ain't
spinner
no
we paid
way I'm
80 mil
paying-
for.
Anthony,
I still think he's got more to him, but that's if we're going to talk
Anthony?
about overpriced and not living up to it, he's been on that
He
ballpark.
needs
see,
to
the
use
thing-
his right foot. Anthony just needs to use his right foot.
no, the thing with Anthony is the price tag gets brought up all the time. We could have bought him at the end of May for like 40 mil. Ajax were ready to sell. The Glazers were just like, you know what, let's wait it out. Then it got to like middle of August and they're like, oh shit, we should probably back the manager. Then we had to pay like 100 mil for him because Ajax are like, season's already started. We don't want to lose a key player.
Yeah.
Nah, Ajax be finessing people. Ajax and all the Ligue 1 teams have been finessing teams.
They're the new gen Monaco from a few seasons back when
Oh,
they had Mbappe and they had a few other
Oh,
gems.
they had
a few
yeah,
gems.
Bernardo Silva was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, they had a few gems on that team that they were able to flip dime for price tags on. And
I blame Falcao.
same for Dortmund, actually, now that I think about it, between flipping
Dortmund's a
Haaland,
factory.
Sancho.
Yeah.
The whole Bundesliga is a factory for Bayern Munich. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, that kid against Schalke scored against us twice. All right, let's just keep an eye on him. Scored against Dortmund too? All right, how much is he going for? Sign him.
But
That's
thing
what they
is,
do.
Bayern like control
money.
the league like it's a monopoly, but they're not even putting bags out. Like they're getting like top players for like 35 mil.
Bro, it's about the buying, it's about the prestige. Like you go to, like, let's say you meet a girl in a club and you're like, oh, you know, I play for Borussia Mönchengladbach. You'll be like, okay, cool, that's cool. I play for Bayern Munich. Oh oh, they're in red, yay! I don't know.
Well, they bought Jens Sommer literally as a panic buy when Neuer hurt
Yeah.
himself in a skiing accident, freak injury, out for the
He was
season.
skiing.
Yeah, he was skiing during like the World Cup or something.
Yeah.
And Bayern just goes and, emergency panic buy and just buys the best keeper available basically in the same damn league. And that was that.
No, they're like, all right, cool. Like, we're not going to sell to you. Okay, here's this much. They're like, someone's like, yo, you better sign it or I'm not playing again. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is they have Nubel out on loan at Monaco, who's like 26.
No,
He's been balling at Monaco. Why not just bring him back?
Could have
instead
also
of
just run
buying
with
Sommer?
You could have ran with Ulrich for the rest of the season, seen
Could've,
how
yeah.
that went.
Oh
save
no!
yourself,
But when it
but-
comes to Champions League, like strikers can smell fear in goalkeepers, and trust me.
Jens Sommer's confident.
Oh no!
I
Sommer's
watched him in a
good.
penalty shootout back in the Euros, and he
Yeah.
was absolute class for Swiss.
Oh no!
Switzerland,
He's
right?
he's a great goalkeeper. That's the thing. I think even when Neuer comes back, even with his form and everything else, it's gonna be hard to kind of take back the first team position. Like he's not the Terminator Neuer.
Yeah, he's
that
up
we
there
know
in
today.
age.
He's
had-
what, like
he's had-
36, something like that now?
Yeah, no, he's getting up there, and what did he do? He blew out his ACL, MCL, something like that.
Blew out his knee.
Skiing, yeah, no, he blew out his knee skiing, and I mean, I know a
Imagine
keeper
how
who
that
did
feels.
that.
Imagine how that would feel. You'd be sitting at home. You're like, if I just didn't go skiing.
Well, it was after Germany got knocked out of the World Cup. They all went out on vacation. I think he went to like the Swiss Alps or something, blew out his knee skiing.
Yeah, that's more or less what happened. I remember seeing it on Instagram. I'm just sitting here like, huh, that sucks.
Anyway, now we're going to go on to the Prem. Yeah, it's a whole shambles right now. We have Newcastle in the mix. Tottenham with Conte out, I don't know what the heck's going to happen. It can go either two ways. So we're going to talk about Tottenham for a few seconds,
All right.
Like,
I got
as an
bold
Arsenal
statements.
fan, it doesn't bring me joy to see Tottenham like this.
Why not?
It makes me freaking elated.
Okay,
But
that's
anyway,
fair.
moving on. Like, I always just, every time I look at Tottenham, I'm just like, I just give up on them. There's no reason why they should not be fighting for the Champions League. Let's not lie. There's no reason they shouldn't be fighting for the league every single season. The last few seasons.
That's pushing it. Like,
No.
Kane and Son can only do so much in that.
No,
team.
but the thing about
See,
it is,
but
like,
even
on
like
paper.
the two Juve players they signed between Kulusevski and Benkatur, like I expected that to bring a lot to them.
Oh, exactly.
well,
then they-
Bentancur's been their best midfielder, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just talking on paper. Like, we know how Tottenham is, but on paper, when you look at even Benzema, like when he came on, you were like when he was at Brighton and everything else, he's a good player. Kulusevski as well. They got Poro. Emerson Royale, I'm push that to the side. They got rid of Spence. It's like, you guys, they have something there, and it for some reason it just messes up. They're in the mix.
They've also loaned off a lot of their players. I noticed, like it kind of surprised me. Like a couple of their Dutch guys, Bergwijn, Sergio.
Well, Bergman they sold.
No, they sold.
to
I think so.
Ajax.
Yeah.
They sold Bergwijn. There was another guy that they had that was class that they have on loan with possible option to buy, and then there was Reguilon that they
Yeah.
sent off to Atletico.
I don't know what
Well,
happened.
they
over there.
shipped him out because they brought Perisic in.
Yeah.
But I think I'd take Reguilon over Perisic.
Well, I thought
think
Reguilon was a good fit for Tottenham. I had
Yeah.
him in my fantasy team last year, and he was a pretty solid player. He was actually enjoyable to watch, and he kind of gave some like pace to the wing. And now he's back in Atletico.
Yeah.
No. So by the end of the day, with the squad, it's just having Kane on your team, like he's guaranteed goals. So they should be pushing up. Like you could say the same about Chelsea, same about the Liverpool squad. They should be challenging in a fair world. When you look at the paper, they should be challenging. But we can say that about 7 teams.
Yeah.
So they should be, but
Liverpool
Tottenham.
kind of took the role at Chelsea where they signed elite striker who is supposed to be the be all end all, Timo Werner, Darwin Núñez, and they both finished the same. They don't.
But
They missed this. Like,
Okay,
See,
that's
that's the thing with Darwin. Like he hasn't been good this year, but I do think he has
moments.
everything it takes to like be at the very
Okay,
top.
but
but that's how I looked at Timo Werner before he went to Chelsea too. Like with Leipzig or the Red Bulls, he was on a tear.
No, that's just because in the Bundesliga, like 90% of the
Yeah.
defenses, they play a high line, but they're not quick. So Leipzig would just sit there and just ping the ball in behind. Timo's going to win that
Timo's
race.
I know he's got
every day.
afterburners. If there's
Especially
one
with
thing
a
Timo Werner
playmaker
has,
like Forsberg on the
Yeah.
squad too.
oh no, that's crazy. But with Núñez, like if you really look at him and you look at the season, at the end of the season, when you look at him, you're gonna look at the goals, assists, and everything else. Obviously, you could have bagged out, say 10. He should have been 10 plus goals. Some of the situations I've been in, I've seen him in. I've been on the field. I've seen him in. Like, and his quality, he should be finishing them. So he should be, I would not even lie, 10 plus goals more than he is.
Yeah.
But when you look at it and you're going to look at the end of the season, it's going to be like, it's not that bad of a season for him. And for the first season as well. And he's kind of coming to terms with it's like, okay, you know what? And he's like, right now he's playing better than he was. So that's a good sign.
Liverpool's also had an injury-filled season too. As much as I hate to give
Yeah.
them some kind of a break, Luis Diaz would have been one of the most deadly left wingers of this year if he wasn't spending half of it on the injured reserve. He had a great start.
Yeah.
Him and Nunez could have been like the new 1-2 punch like Mane and Firmino were, but you know, we know how Bobby Firmino's dropped off the radar for Liverpool and he's going to leave at the end of the season. I've read that multiple times.
He's
done. He'll leave on a free transfer or like for a small tag.
Yeah. So that had to happen. But before Firmino got injured, he was doing well. He was scoring goals. He was like on a tear. But Liverpool was always going to be dead because of the center midfield. It was always going to be dead.
Their midfield, they're literally a bagel. They've got nothing in the middle. Their midfield is non-existent.
The best midfielder was is injured right now. It's the young kid who was like
Bajcetic.
He was the best one for the few. Thiago, old. Arthur, nowhere to be found. No, mostly injured. Keita, injured when he comes on. He's missing.
Fabinho
he's looked lost, bro. He looks like he has better things to do. He's looking like he's tired. Who else? Henderson. That's what I'm gonna say.
I've never really rated Hendo that much. I've always thought he was consistent.
Solid English lad. He's a solid English lad.
That's literally
He's a solid English lad. Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, the Ox never plays. Milner comes in at right back.
Those are two retirement-bound players.
Milner needs to be in the Premier League Hall of Fame when he retires because that man has done it all for any manager, and I put so much respect on James Milner. But once again, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to head out. But the top four. So we said Newcastle are there.
I think Newcastle finished sixth, honestly.
And that's where we're going to differentiate because when I was doing my notes today, I had this weird little feeling that in Tottenham will actually drop down to a 5th or 6th spot, and Newcastle, I'm pretty sure they have 2 games at hand on them with only like a couple points difference. And I even said, I think in my notes, that they might even jump United for 3rd, as much as I hate to say it.
I see what I think is going to happen.
United won't go below 4th, though.
It's going to be Arsenal first. That's just locked.
Given.
City 2nd, United 3rd, Liverpool jump up to 4th.
No.
Liverpool are going to catch. Liverpool are catching.
If you're going to say that, you got to give credit to Brighton. They've got 3 games at hand with the same amount of points as Liverpool.
It's Brighton. Though.
No, okay.
They're going to find a way to not do it.
So,
but Ferguson's been in the class of his
I was
life.
about to say that. Thank you very much. That man Ferguson. That man
and
is
Solly
a
March.
different breed.
But think about
Solly March.
Think
please.
about it.
I'm not even trying to hear about Solly March.
Think about
I love Solly March, but I'm not trying to.
You guys took Trossard. Somebody needed to replace him on that squad. Solly March is the closest they're going to get, except he's more left wing back than a left mid.
Thank you, Brighton. Thank you for Trossard. Thank you very much. He's been a solid addition. And
For fantasy team, thanks you for the 3
Oh,
assists.
yeah.
3 assists in the 1 half. I'm sitting here laughing at Hunter. I've matched up against him that day for the fantasy thing. I'm like, oh look, Trossard's got 3 assists. Easy win this week.
Oh, bro, it happened in a flash. But back onto the top 4 because I was up there. We're up there. We're up there. I just don't know because Newcastle, Isaac has been. He's been back. He came back like I think a few days ago.
Yeah.
And he's been firing. And Wilson has not been doing it. So now that he's on the bench, and Almiron has found his feet again. He had a little dip. And St. Maximin, I've seen a little less step overs and a little more crossing. So hopefully with Isaac in
it's
there.
still St. Max, though. He's going to revert back to the knee stays.
See, and we were talking about dangerous wingers, and he is another person I put in my notes. He's dangerous on any day of the week. He just hasn't been as dangerous this year, like stat-wise.
Yeah.
He's still one of the scariest guys you're going to come up with on the wing. Like anytime I see him against United, I'm like, Shaw, brother.
Nah, see, Wan-Bissaka had him on lock.
But he had some moments where
against Dalot in the first half, he had him on toast. But Wan-Bissaka came in, locked that down.
St. Maximin is just one of those guys. Like it's like the guys that we play in the Super League. Sometimes they just got the craziest step overs, and they'll put you on skates if you let them.
I won't lie. I got one highlight against me, and we're not really gonna shed too much light on that, but I do have some other people on highlights. Yes, I got captain over here who can justify that for me. I have some people on highlights, but
free kick specialist.
That's me. Top bins, Mr. Ward-Prowse No, we're not even gonna go there. Like what process has been like this season, especially. You can't. Every time there's a free kick or a corner, but Southampton are like last in corners for like scoring headers and set pieces, which is crazy. Which is crazy because they have one of the best free kick taker you can even say in the world right now when it comes to set pieces.
Yeah,
but they have like I would say 6'5" guys strong in the air. All these guys, you're like, okay, cool. They can't head. Southampton can't do anything except
and yet I've seen us concede, and yet I've seen United concede on those corners to Southampton many a times.
Endless.
Jan Bednarek somehow beating all our defenders to the ball. And it's like Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, somebody. No, Jan Bednarek, you're gonna let him walk around the box?
Nah.
Ward-Prowse almost hit a worldly free kick against us the last time we played to the scoreless draw. Yeah. I was sitting there just missed.
No, legit.
And he skims the top of the bar, and De Gea's like, even De Gea's looking like, yeah, he had me.
No, legit. Every time we play Southampton, every time the ref puts that whistle to his mouth, I just pray. I'm like, please be like 45 yards out so he can score.
45 yards. You don't want to see 45 yards out because he's gonna hit you. He's gonna hit you with something new.
Anything just gives him more time to dip it. Honestly, that's the scarier thought.
35 yards to the goal, it's guaranteed goal for him.
That's true.
No, he's a David Beckham regen when it comes to the free kicks. Yeah. There's no way around it.
And just like David Beckham, I think all his other like parts of his game are greatly I would say unappreciated. He ain't fast. He's walking pace. Good control. He has a good eye. He tracks back. His stamina is
high IQ player.
High IQ player too as well. It's just that he's playing for Southampton, guys. Put him in any other team.
Relegation battle. He'll be sold at the end of the year if Southampton if they go down, relegated. He has to. He can't be going to friggin' Championship. He has no business down there.
No.
I'd like to see Newcastle pick him up, actually. That'd be nice.
No, I don't want to see that. Have you seen the Newcastle defenders, man like Burn?
Dan Burn? He'll win the Golden Boot.
Dan Burn is a monster. That guy. And who's the the other guy?
Botman?
Yeah, he's been had a few shaky games. This half of the season has been kind of shaky. But man, that's why I think like Newcastle, it depends on like Isaac's him coming back is gonna push them. I would say push them to fourth. I think they finish fourth. Tottenham, it depends on how they go because this is a very important time for them. Because if they choose the right manager, the right project, they can either make a run for it. Or they're going to be meeting Chelsea down in 10th.
But see, the thing is, who would want to go to Spurs right now?
I'm just trying to think about which managers are actually like, free agents right now.
The only logical choice would be to get Nagelsmann. Because if you get Poch, that's a step backwards. It's never going to work.
No. I would say Poch is actually not a step backwards because he like when you look at Poch and you look at the fit of on what he brought to Tottenham and like obviously they still have love for him and whatever, but Poch I think would be like it'll be like a step better than Conte because when Conte came inside and I said that way his tactics and everything else, I'm like, no, this is not going to work. Poch got them to the Champions League final.
Yes, but that squad was far better than it is right now, and they didn't win it.
They also had some miracle games too, I might say.
So
like
Ajax,
Lucas Moura scores a hat trick in a Champions League semifinal.
You're not gonna see that.
That's another PSG player that they kind of gave up on like really easy this year. That kind of surprised me. I'm like, he was pretty okay, consistent at best for a Tottenham player, but you guys just dropped him like a bad habit too.
No, that's
like Tottenham's going through a rebuild and like.
They've got to
seems really out of pocket this year.
No, because this is what I think Tottenham have tried to do. So they said, okay, we've got man like Harry Kane. Forget about Son. Son coming was a blessing for the advertising and everything else, and he's nearly 100 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
He's been that guy too as well. But they were like, at some point, Kane is going to leave. They knew it at some point.
He's gone.
So that they said during that point, we're all in trying to at least try convince him to be the Spurs for life. So they would like that's the thing. If they even want some FA Cups, he could say like, "Yo, I have some FA Cups and everything else." If they were challenging, but it's at a point where it's just like it's the endless circle. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he stays.
They can't even win the Carabao Cup. To hell is the FA Cup.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, if they just want something, so they were just like, okay, Harry Kane's gonna be, we have an X amount of time. He signed a 5-year contract or something like that, like a few years back when he was becoming that guy. So it's going to be like, okay, let's try and win in this little period and maybe we'll just start growing. But once again, I don't know. I think they have some agents inside of them that are trying to like steer them wrong, because I'm like, I don't understand. They're busy hosting Beyonce concerts and everything else. And I'm like, yo, Beyonce is the only person in that stadium who has some silverware to her. She has Grammys. What does Tottenham have?
Let's see the thing.
Tottenham has a go-kart track that partnered with F1 racing. I saw that and I'm like, you guys are so focused on brand sponsorship. You're worse than McLaren and F1 right now. Like,
that's the thing.
That's just jokes.
So now, if they bring in Nagelsmann, and that'll be actually very good. But the thing is that they have to be like, yo, like they did with Arteta. And I know people keep saying this because that's right now the genuine prime example right now. Let him do him. Give him this. Let him strip the squad. If he says Kane needs to cut or Son needs to cut, let him do what he needs to do and try and rebuild it. But I don't know. They can stay 10th for I care. They can go down to 10th and chill with Chelsea and them, man. For I care.
I don't see much out of their academy either, so they really do need a rebuild of some sorts.
All their academy players get too good for the academy, but they don't call them up. Then they end up at places like Dortmund.
See, it's a weird team. I've never seen Edwards them do that.
Like Edwards, to be honest, like when he was like coming up and everything else, like he wasn't the most talked about and everything else. But when you look at him play, he had the qualities. Just give them a chance. Yes, that's the thing. Give them a chance. Chelsea. Like I saw a stat that like they had seven of their players were captains for like all the like under 21, 20 like national team and everything else. Oh, future leaders. Yeah, future leaders for other teams. Because it's like you have Hall, you have all these guys, like give them a chance. Like why not? Like at a period of time, like I can even see the players that they've chosen to stick by, Mason Mount, Chalobah, this not been their season. Their graduates playing right now is not been this season.
No,
except for Dan J.
Their academy though, their academy has me wondering. There's a few players that I look at with some excitement. I'm like, Chelsea's.
Their academy is always like that. Then they loan the players out till they're 26, and then like
they know. It's similar to Tottenham, except they don't sell them right away. They just play the loan game.
Yeah,
no, that's the thing.
Still doesn't help.
So we'll see now with Chelsea. Like they have to go in. If I was them, I would say forget the Prem. They need to focus on the Champions League, put all efforts in there and try to get back in there because that's still the little avenue they have. So yeah, that's my top 4. But West Ham, West, like I don't know whether like we overvalue teams, but when you look at teams like West Ham, Everton now, sorry Hunter, but Everton now, still, no. I'm going to put Everton too because they should be doing way much better.
They're actually facing a possible 3-point deduction for something I was reading the other day. I had the article.
It was fair, like financial fair play stuff.
Everton?
Was back to like when they had Ancelotti and brought in like James and all that.
Oh.
See, I always thought that offseason was a little weird for a team that wasn't working with much of a wage. That always seemed funny.
James is still screwing Everton to this time.
But yeah, no, they're talking a possible 3-point deduction. And in the relegation battle that I was reading very tensely today, 12th to 20th, and there's only a 4-point difference between CP and South.
Okay, so
there's lots to play for down there.
FFA, not the brand, shout out FFA, but the financial fair play FFP or whatever. You guys, like, just leave Everton alone. Leave Everton alone. They're already suffering enough.
Go jump Man City. Thought you guys had beef with them. What happened to that? What happened to that?
Chelsea, there are people out here spending
give us their trophy.
600 mil, to be honest, the Barca, like when I saw that Barca thing, about the like paying off the refs and everything else, it was during the period where we lost the Champions League final, and we all know some of those decisions were a little dodgy. So give us our Champions League. That's the only thing Arsenal's missing, so we could just one European. I just want one.
But would you want your first Champions League to have an asterisk next to it?
Right now, I don't care. Actually, I do. Actually,
yeah, you do.
Yeah, to be honest, one way fair and square.
Like if you guys had like 10 already, and then this one got added on, cool.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about our Premier League. The title that we should have got if City got stripped of it. One goes to us. Hey, look, it's another one. 2013 wasn't our last year now.
Yeah,
no, but they seem to only just punish, I would say, Italian teams.
Juve.
Poor
Juve.
Yeah. So I think all the Premier League teams are pretty much safe. But West Ham, so much talent. So that's also why I would say this next Premier League season is going to be, I would say, the toughest yet, because the 3 of those teams are going to go down, and 3 of those teams have quality players.
Yeah.
Teams like Brighton with their, I don't know what kind of investigators they have. They have man like Fred Velma and them, all the Scooby Doo tasks, because Brighton have done an absolute brilliant job. And to be honest, no one wants to face Brighton right now. You don't want to face Brighton.
No, they're the team that you expect to beat, but like deep down, you know they've got more than enough effort and potential to upset you. They've got a pretty grade A keeper in, I want to say Robert Sanchez, or
Sanchez.
Robert Sanchez, and he's been
solid.
a consistent bottom feeder keeper for how many years Brighton been up? He's been there for the whole step of the way, and he's been solid.
I think he joined on loan, and then he just like, that's the thing. They were bought into the project. They bought into the project. So now it's a point where if they can muster a European position next time, they'll for next season. That's when you kind of look at them, and you look at them, I would say like West Ham were like a few years ago, when you're like, this is the team that could make the next step. And with Brighton, unlike all the other teams, if they make a signing for someone's 40 million, I know they did their research. They did their research, their revision, their all of that.
Well, teams like that have to. They can't afford to spend 40 on a player that's a maybe. Like United drops like twice that on a superstar, and they don't pan out half the time.
Now the thing with Brighton is
it's not always the case.
If you look at the books, they have more coming in than they're going out. Because even if Caicedo goes as well, bro, they have a backup.
Yeah.
I think they even signed a backup. I forgot. I think they signed someone else. I'm not going like fact check me or everything, but they did sign someone else who was a center midfielder, and I think it was
the Argentinian kid, wasn't it? I forget what. Unless I'm extremely mistaken, I want to say it was Buenanote was the kid's name.
Sounds familiar.
I think I'm not sure.
It was.
But that's how they do it. That's how these bottom feeder teams that once were bottom feeders, now they're middle to fighting up. Like look at Newcastle over the last few years.
Yeah. They got Welbeck looking like a threat again.
Yo, Danny's been that guy.
Yeah, Danny's been that guy.
Granted, Almiron's had a career year this year, but like still,
he's going back to his Atlanta United days.
I was going to say he's pulling out his MLS stops.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to see Joseph Martinez come to them for just one season, so we can.
He just moved to Inter Miami though, because Atlanta didn't want him anymore.
Yeah, that's a mistake on my part.
That was weird. That was
him
weird.
And the manager just.
No, but Atlanta have been killing it, so maybe.
Yeah, it's because
that Caleb Wiley kid.
Yeah, Almada too.
That Caleb Wiley kid. He's a 19-year-old left back, and he's the best winger in the MLS right now.
He was a right back, because every time goal I see him, he's just booted from a different side of the pitch.
Yeah, no, he's primarily a left back, but they're playing him at wing right now.
That's crazy. Keep playing him at wing.
Yeah, Atlanta United, between him and Almada, who's been scoring left and right, and St. Louis, who have been undefeated this season, and I mean.
That's
big disappointment over on this side.
Yeah.
Insigne hurt 20 minutes into his first actual game of the season. He plays the whole preseason, and then he gets.
All Canadian teams have been kind of mid. Montreal as well has been.
I saw a World League game when I was there.
Oh, no, that was a crazy game.
And then I saw Kyoto at the airport the next day going to Honduras. No lie. Rommel? Kyoto? Yeah, no, he was like front of the line. All his designer. He had like some Givenchy here, some Louis V here. You could see the neck tattoos. He had the hair all flare.
It's drippy season. They always say drippy up within MTL. They say drippy.
Oh yeah, I know. Kyoto is looking fly. But even just the Impact game, and obviously TFC fan, but Impact played a great game. Granted, Philadelphia Union went down to 10 men because of a very poor challenge, but sucks to suck.
Oh no, the MLS tacking is ass.
The tying goal was a double VAR check. The ref missed the ref called it offside originally, and then the coach and everyone was losing their shit, so he had to go and double VAR check it, and they didn't realize they were too zoomed in on the camera angle. They zoomed out. There's a freaking defender standing on the goal line. You called it offside in the first place.
That's what I'm saying, VAR is smoking. As I'm gonna say, I keep on saying VAR is smoking some za. Like, put me in. Like, I could do a better job.
And then there was United and Fulham the next day that I was watching from my hotel room. That game had me screaming. The Willian block. Oh my God. I knew right away that was handball. I'm like, okay, that doesn't even need to be checked. Like,
Willian was playing volleyball on the goal line.
Yeah. Man, he had to. I'm like, no, to be honest, you could have just let it in. Like, you're tough. Your hand just like,
I played goalie at one point in time, and I've actually gotten a really bad yellow card playing midfield where like I kind of jumped over somebody and like I missed this. So I'm like,
You look around, did anybody see it? Like,
yellow card for that. I'm like,
Yeah, I get it, ref. But Mitrovic just lost his shit. That's what it is.
And he's facing further action for it, to my knowledge, and so is Silva too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what Silva said to him, but he was given the red jersey.
No.
He was, from what I've read, is he was going after the assistant, like the fourth referee.
Yeah.
And then the fourth referee told the actual ref about it.
Deal with it.
And then went over, gave him a red and all that, and then kept going.
No
and,
hesitation. He turned and gave him the red, and I'm like, oh. And William gets the red. And then Mitrovic challenged, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No. To be honest, if he stayed on, they still
Why?
had a little bit of a chance.
It was
Because
only
they-
one. It was 1-0 at that point.
and they were playing good football.
They were
Yeah,
outplaying.
no, they
us.
had me scared.
Like,
They did have me scared.
And now that can derail Fulham's because they were also kind of like on the outsides. If they go on a crazy run, which everybody knows is possible, they could have actually been putting pressure on.
Top 6.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have said that if Mitrovic wasn't out for the next 2-3 games for them and they weren't already on a bit of a slide. Because Fulham's another like Newcastle. They're the Newcastle of this season for me, where it's like they did a lot of spending in the offseason. They did a lot of spending in the winter window.
Yeah.
And they have a lot to show for.
Oh yeah, and their players actually producing. Solomon when he had injury
Williams
problems, but he came.
phenomenal.
William, where was this in Arsenal?
Yeah,
Where was
they
this in
pa-
Arsenal?
They got him on like a free transfer or something. I'm like,
Exactly.
that's the player that I would have expected if he had never left the Prem. But you know, he didn't. Yeah, I forgot he was even with you guys. Holy,
Yeah, exactly.
he was that useless.
Man, he had one game against Fulham. We were like, yo, that was crazy.
he had like 2 goals and an assist that game. Didn't he?
Well, he
Against
was class
Fulham.
all the time with Chelsea,
Yeah.
all the time.
Man, he was one of my favorite players.
At least Jesus turned out for you guys this year until he got injured.
Oh no, when you see him back, he looks sharper than ever.
He does.
Yeah, he does look sharp. He even has that little that Mohican. Now, when Jesus gets that Mohican, it's over. It's over.
Says something about Arsenal's depth that they were able to do that much this year after they lost like what was their starting top
Yeah.
striker at the start of the year.
Well, it's because the thing with Arsenal, correct me if I'm wrong here,
I will.
they don't play like as individuals, like, oh, we have good players. The players buy into what the coach wants to do. Like Arteta has a very set game plan of what he wants to do every game. The players are bought into it. Even the subs, the reserves, they all buy into it. They
like a
all
Pep
know what
Guardiola
their job
style like type
Yeah.
of play. Yeah, I know.
is. They all know what
exactly.
their job
I-
is
I
when they
agree
come
with
in.
that.
They do a job.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Whereas United, I don't see that same system. I see it a few times, flashes of brilliance.
Yeah.
But I like when something doesn't go their way, whether it's a call, a goal against, a VAR check, whatever, they panic.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but the game against Liverpool, 1-0 down. That game was
That
still very
was a
winnable. That
shambles.
game was very winnable at 1-0.
1 goal,
the
2
team,
goals,
the
3
team
goals.
just
I'm out of
collapsed.
here. I
They
turned my
gave up.
laptop off. I was like, nope.
Like
Yeah.
we had it was me now too. Shout out to we had no United fans here, and literally I was like, okay, it was like 3-0 or something. I'm like, let me go do something. Like this game is done up. I come back, it was like 5. I was like, okay, it's either they're gonna go for double figures. Once again, Liverpool, they're straight up bastards. Unlike Man City, that would kind of be like, you know what, we'll ease up on them, play a little tiki taka, whatever. These man them say we're going to go for double digits. We're gonna hit you guys for 10. Like why? There's no need. They're already down. Like you know that stop kicking him. He's already dead. That's what I kept seeing that on Twitter. But yeah, basically the Premier League it's all like the bottom, the top. Like every single game now, I'll put on Leeds versus whatever. Like every game is an intensive game.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's really much about the show, guys. Firstly, shout out to Down to the Wire. Jacob's there.
I got to bring up something from the very beginning, though.
Okay.
No, you said a couple months. You said a couple months you took off.
A few months. It's been a while.
a few months. Okay, a few months.
A few.
I'll give you that.
A few months.
It was a few months.
So you're talking about live during the episode in-game chat checks. I was just doing one for Canada. We're up 2-0 on Honduras. 20 minutes in, Lauren has both, which is amazing because I actually was going to bring him up as one of my surprises for the season if we still had time.
Okay. Do you know what? Lauren has been going crazy. Like
5-8.
like,
Yeah, 5-8.
Okay.
And then he's picked up 3 because he got one of the 2
Yeah.
against Carasso the other day, and
Yeah.
now he's got a double within 11 minutes.
Oh no, he's on fire, and
Laurenismo.
his team Valladolid.
Valladolid. He's been
That's
balling
it.
out for them.
And they're in a
He's
tight
the only one
relegation
scoring
battle
for
too.
them.
No, he's the one who's keep pushing him, and like so his price is going up. They might survive. I think they will survive on basis of form, and you see the other teams'
It's a
form.
tight race. I was checking earlier. It's a tight race, but to say that he's the reason they're out of it, would 100% be accurate if you ask me.
Yeah.
The goals that he scored has saved them a few points, I would say, at least. And because of that, they're holding maybe a win above relegation right now, but 2 spots above the first relegation spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Kyle Larin has definitely done wonders for that team there, which is doing wonders for Canada soccer as a whole, as he is doing for us tonight.
So yeah, so like, well, that's great news because as once again, 2026 is coming up, and once again, guys, tune in CPL and everything. Give the local guys a shout, but Canada is looking in a good position for the next World Cup to have a better showing.
Yeah.
Just like, to be honest, Jonathan David should have taken that penalty. I'll still say that. Like,
I don't know where you were, but
Hindsight's
yeah.
2020. I don't mind Fonzie taking
no,
that.
I don't mind Fonzie taking it. I love Fonzie. I don't mind him taking it, but Jonathan David is a specialized penalty taker.
I
That's
wouldn't
what
have
he
had
does.
a problem if David took it or Fonzie. I
No,
wouldn't
that's what
have
I'm
cared
saying.
either way.
No, that's what I'm saying. But when I saw it coming up, I'm like, yo, Jonathan David, step up. And I was like, I just wanted to see him score in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But Fonzie's goal was great. Fonzie's such a great, and I mean, like,
See, even Buchanan, I feel like he's got some he's got pizzazz in him to like put a penalty away, like if you wanted to. But I think Jonathan David would have been my choice.
Oh.
Fonzie, I would have been okay with.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I would have expected nothing less of a goal from him, but
no,
that
like,
pen was not well taken,
No.
unfortunately.
and but for the next World Cup, the setup is actually pretty crazy because once again, Buchanan, he's there. Kone is
He's looking good.
Yeah, as soon as the first game for Watford, he was looking crazy. He was looking comfortable.
And Alistair Johnson too. He's been baptized by the Celtic Fire.
Oh
right
no, I
now.
mean, he was always gonna look like he's high energy. He's
Yeah.
go and everything else. He was gonna I knew he was gonna be fine. They have a lot of people. Even in the Scottish Premier League, they have some people. Some other Canada's got a lot of talent right now coming out, and especially in Europe. So right now they're learning their trade, especially here. And so some of the CPL boys are even getting look-ins as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Guys like that, guys like Richie Larea just need a fair shot, and they will grow with time. It's a guaranteed thing.
I want to see him go back to Nottingham Forest.
I don't. He's the best right back in the MLS right now.
No, I would no.
I like him with us, but he's hit his ceiling in the
Yes.
MLS. I've
That's
seen
it.
him. I've seen him do it all. Like his preseason to start last year is what got him to Nottingham in the first place.
Yeah.
He was scoring goals left and right because he was making the runs. Not even like a right wing back. He was almost like Johnson, where he transferred to like a right mid position.
Yeah.
And he just did it so naturally. But Nottingham didn't want to use him.
No, exactly. So now they have Sergio Aurier, who's like 49, and he's like a younger version of Sergio Aurier. Like literally, he is like if you see when Sergio Aurier was
Little
like
lighter.
PSG and everything. Oh, younger, yeah.
A little lighter. Larea's pretty light, man. He can get knocked off. Whereas Serge, I found, always had a solid build to him.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
Even in his youth, I found he was pretty built.
so you see,
He's Ivory Coast, man. He's got that dog in him.
yeah, I mean, yeah, man, no, but I mean, like, yeah, but obviously him getting the experience, him bulking up and everything else, being on that side would have helped him.
Yeah.
He's developed because like some people, you just hit the cap at like Ahmad in Atlanta, he's hit the cap, like he's gone.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
gone. He's gone. Hopefully, and I think he's actually going to go to a big boy team. Hopefully, he doesn't end up in like
He'll make Newcastle a big boy team.
yeah.
They're working.
Yeah.
They're working.
Oh, they're working. Oh yeah, they are.
See, this is going to be unpopular, I feel like, but Eddie Howe is not going to win anything for
No,
Newcastle.
he's not.
No, Eddie Howe's not going to win it.
He's
guys.
he's gonna build the foundation for them to move on to an elite manager where they can make that push.
Yes.
No, but
I back that.
if so, Bruno Guimaraes, he is the kind of like he's gonna be the determinant whether they do, because he's the they play like a normal like 4-4-2.
He's a maestro.
4-5-1. Yeah. So he's gonna determine. So if he's been influential, like some of the games you've seen the brilliance, but when you see it every game, he's gonna be the guy to be like, okay, we're playing one touch football this time. Forget about how what Eddie Howe says. We're gonna Isaac, you're gonna do the runs and everything else, and that's what they're gonna feed in. That's why having players like St. Maximum, Murphy even coming off the bench and all that stuff, it's different dimensions. So then I think they might actually break into Eddie Howe, be like, you know what, everything's going well. Let me just.
You've done a good job.
You know the Simpsons meme?
Yeah.
The Simpsons meme when like Homer's going back is like, yeah, you guys just do your thing, and then we won a trophy, yeah. Because I really thought they would have given like United a little bit more run at the final, because I was like, guys, you're in a final. United will probably be in some finals in the coming few years. You guys,
A few months.
They
yeah,
also had Loris Karius and net. So like, I mean, I wasn't too concerned.
yeah.
He still played fairly decent.
played-
He
oh.
did,
No, I think these defense kind of let him down.
but like, I
Defensive.
feel like that Champions League final is just kind of gonna live rent free.
Man, I feel sad for him.
Coming
Man,
from a
what are you
keeper's
supposed to do?
perspective, like I'll never
Yeah.
forget my worst games, and part of it will always eat at me. But you know, you live and you learn. But Karius, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick Pope, I think, could have maybe made a difference maker, but United was all over Newcastle
Yeah.
that game. So
Oh no, yeah.
like you said, I don't think it would have made a difference.
No,
Could have
but-
saved one or two.
Yo, when Murphy came in, like I don't know why he doesn't get game time. When he came in, he looked more of a threat. Like he's just fast. He's a fast
Yeah.
English bloke. Put him on the right, just give him go. You
He
know?
gives me from Aston Villa, Jacob Ramsey vibes.
Oh,
A little more striker based,
oh yeah.
but like the same kind of like everything. Honestly.
He's a taller Aaron Lennon.
That's
That's
a
how
name.
I see him.
That's a name I haven't heard. In a while.
Yeah. Shout out that. But all right, guys. Now we're actually gonna do the final ones. Jacob, thanks again. Shout out Noah for coming back. You know what? I would say this is I wouldn't say a Ballon d'Or performance.
I wouldn't go that far.
But I would say, you know, he did put the ball in the net a few times. You know, I think we can work with this coach. Right, Jacob? I think we can work with this.
Assists, he was getting them in.
He's all right.
Good crossers.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's what I do. I put the ball in the box.
Yeah. Shout out.
That's what I needed this season at Massive.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. You know, shout out the Super League, but we're not gonna talk about the certain seasons we have. We come again next time.
Yeah,
Different alias.
I gotta take a month and maybe a half month of rehab and some time to get back into just working and getting back to life. But yeah, we'll see you back for another season, no doubt.
Yeah, shout out Drew as well. Always welcome. And yeah, guys, you wrap it up.
Yo, like, comment, subscribe, do the whole thing. You know what it is. Hit up the socials, everything. We're moving. We're making moves. Let's keep it going.
All right, guys. Till next time.